country. We begin tonight in Pennsylvania and the Senate battle between Republican Pat Toomey and Democrat Joe Sestak, who defeated incumbent Arlen Specter in a stunning upset last May.
Thank you, Pennsylvania!
We felt people had wanted to change.
Let's come together and let's prevail in November.
But to have them actually vote for that night, it was very exciting.
Democratic voters had a choice. They had in Arlen Specter a guy who had been 40 years a Republican, right? And who came along and said, okay, but now I'm a Democrat, so vote for me. I'm not surprised that they decided to go with the reliable liberal. I believe this race is going to provide probably the clearest contrast, the clearest choice of any race in America.
Indeed, the differences between the candidates are stark.
Hi, how are you? I'm well, how are you?
Fine. While in Congress, Republican Pat Toomey earned a 97% rating from the American Conservative Union.
Thank you so much. You're welcome.
Democrat Congressman Joe Sestak has voted with Nancy Pelosi 97% of the time. Both candidates want to talk about jobs, but in May, issue number one seems to be Sestak's job offer. Did the White House offer the former Navy admiral a job to drop his bid against their candidate, Arlen Specter?
What exactly was the conversation?
Dick, I don't have anything to add to what I said in March.
But you never really explained what the conversation was.
And I don't have anything to add today.
That question's not only drowning out Sestak's message, but Toomey's too.
You believe Mr. Sestak needs to, and the White House need to clear the air about this?
The gist of it is that I do think that it would be helpful for all concerned if Joe would be more forthcoming and get this put behind him.
The next day, the White House issues a memo that states in July 2009, Chief of Staff Rahm Emanuel asked former President Bill Clinton to offer Sestak an unpaid position on an advisory board if he did not challenge Specter.
For a non-paying board position for which he's not eligible.
As a House member.
Right. So it all seems pretty strange.
I'm happy to answer questions.
Hours after the White House statement reaches the press, Sestak holds an impromptu press conference for the national media on the Capitol steps.
I merely looked at this as just another effort by the Democratic establishment in Washington, D.C. not to have me in the race.
Was it inappropriate or was it
No.
Hi, good morning. Joe Sestak, Happy Memorial Day.
3 days later,
Joe Sestak, Happy Memorial Day, Semper Fi.
Sestak literally races through Memorial Day celebrations.
I am Joe Sestak, Happy Memorial Day.
I run every parade and love it.
Happy Memorial Day, Joe Sestak.
In 3 towns.
Thank you, sir.
Hundreds of miles apart.
Get a workout.
Yes.
I'm a Republican, but I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much. At the end of the day, I go home and I open up a book as I'm laying in bed and I go like that. Can I be sweaty?
It's not the stifling heat that stops Sestak.
Toss the mic here in your jacket if I could.
It's the local media.
Everybody ready?
They asked Sestak about the job offer and his response to it.
Do you wish that you had given more specifics? The specifics that you offered last week,
No.
do you wish you had done that months ago?
Absolutely not.
Nothing
Absolutely nothing.
inappropriate
Nothing.
offered?
Not at all. It was not inappropriate at all what happened.
They were offering you an advisory board position. You couldn't be a congressman and still do that. For people who say, this really doesn't add up, what do you say to them?
I have yet to have a person ask me. What they want to know is, what are you doing for us? Look, I answer questions honestly. But what I have to make sure then I do is work on solutions, practical solutions to their problems.
You answered questions honestly. If that's so, do you think the White House handled this poorly?
What I do know is the Democratic establishment didn't want me in the race. I said, no, I don't agree. And that's all that matters to them, Brett, really.
An administration that didn't answer the question for weeks on end about what happened. And then when they finally put a release out, it doesn't add up. So as a Democrat, aren't you concerned at all that perhaps they weren't being truthful, or there's somehow some kind of strange legalese that explains what they were doing?
All I think about is one thing.
I know.
Is I honest? Was I accountable?
I got it.
But that's it.
I'll ask it one more time. You're done with this issue?
Been done with it ever since last July.
The people deserve an explanation here in Pennsylvania.
June 11th.
It's going to be very interesting. If you guys can stay on it.
At the Pennsylvania GOP annual summer meeting, State Party Chair Robert Gleason, former Pennsylvania Senator Rick Santorum, and California Congressman Darrell Issa talk of pressing Sestak's job issue.
By the time you're a three-star admiral, you ought to know the difference between a job and an unpaid position.
What's the meaning of a job? You know, is a job like something you would leave your current job and go to?
Congressman Issa, do you think his asking for an investigation?
Oh, sure. Anything, to gain attention.
Really, that's
Right
what you
way.
think it is?
Yeah.
As the summer heats up, the scandal cools. The candidates can now focus on what they say they really want to talk about.
I was shocked when Joe Sestak called a moratorium on all drilling. This is a radical overkill.
Here's someone who sided with big oil and said, let's drill in Lake Erie.
He has claimed that he's a reformer, that he opposes this earmark system, but as you can see, he's been only too happy to be deeply engaged in it.
Congressman Toomey's solution, more breaks for the rich and less taxpayer oversight of Wall Street. It's as simple as that.
The latest Rasmussen poll shows Toomey up 6 points, but Sestak's proven ability to pull off the upset will keep both campaigns in high gear straight through November.
Every day, all day, long days, that's what this in politics, you can never get a day back.
Coming up, he's got